I worked security monitoring for historical sites for a short period. Mostly boring work: cameras, motion sensors, logging false alarms caused by animals or equipment glitches. When I got assigned to a night shift inside the tower, I thought it would just be another quiet contract. People joke about it being haunted, but when you're actually there, it doesn't feel spooky. It feels old, thick, like the air hasn't moved properly in centuries. My shift started at midnight. I was alone in a small control room with camera feeds covering corridors, stairwells, and sections closed to the public. Most of the cameras were modern, but some were older thermal units installed years ago and never replaced. For the first hour, nothing happened. At around 1 a.m., I noticed something odd, not on the cameras, but outside. The ravens were restless earlier in the night, hopping along the walls and making noise. Then they stopped. Not slowly, not one by one. Just stopped. I didn't think much of it at first. Birds do that sometimes. But the silence felt wrong, like when a crowd suddenly goes quiet and you don't know why yet. A few minutes later, one of the motion alerts triggered in a corridor near the inner wall. It wasn't a high-priority zone, just an old passage rarely accessed, mainly used for maintenance. The camera feed looked normal at first. Stone corridor, narrow, dimly lit. Then I noticed the corridor looked longer than it should have been. I'd walked that route earlier during handover. It ended after maybe 15 meters. On the screen, it kept going. Same stone pattern, same floor, but no end. I assumed it was a lens issue or a feed delay. I leaned closer to the monitor. The temperature reading for that corridor dropped suddenly. Not dramatically, but enough to register. About 6 degrees lower than the surrounding areas. Then something crossed the camera. I can't describe it properly. It wasn't transparent, and it wasn't solid. The camera didn't glitch or blur, it just failed to show whatever was there, leaving a clean, human-shaped absence. The thermal overlay reacted strangely. The area around the shape glowed cooler than the rest, like heat was being pulled into it. I waited for the motion alert to clear. It didn't. Instead, the audio feed from that camera activated. At first, it sounded like interference, low static. Then I realized it was breathing. Slow, even. Not close to the mic, but not far either. As if someone was standing still, just out of view. I checked the other cameras. No movement anywhere else. No personnel logged inside that section. Then the breathing stopped. A few seconds later, I heard footsteps. Not approaching the camera, not leaving. Just pacing back and forth in the same spot. I reached for the radio to call the supervisor, and that's when the feed cut out. Camera offline, no error code, no static, just gone. When it came back, the corridor was normal again. Short, ending where it should, except for the wall at the end. There were marks on it that hadn't been there before, vertical scratches, too straight to be random, too shallow to be damage. I counted them automatically. There were a lot. I reported it as a technical issue. That's what it went down as in the log. The rest of the night passed quietly, but the ravens didn't make a sound until morning. I finished my contract and didn't take another shift there. Years later, I still think about something I noticed right before I left that morning. On the playback system, the timestamp for that camera showed a gap. 43 minutes unaccounted for. No footage, no alerts, nothing logged. And during that gap, according to the system, the camera had been recording.